Welcome to BioShock Infinite, the post-playthrough reactions. So, I think luckily for you, I sat through the entire credits, because, well, it's just a decent thing to do. And I say luckily for you because that gave me some time to think about how I want to do this video. Because I kind of thought about doing this video just like, maybe a quarter of an hour, just going, what? How? Or just listing off everything I don't understand, which is a lot, by the way. But instead, I want to kind of try and piece together a timeline. And this is not the video you want to go for if you want to, well, get a really good idea of what happens in the game. No, this is the video you want to go for if you want to see my reactions to playing this game and me trying to make sense of it now. And I'm going to try and make sense of it by trying to summarize it. So, if I want to sum it up, I think we have to start at Wounded Knee. Apparently some tragedy where, well, basically white Americans or whatever it is massacred some the Indians. I don't know if this was a real event or not, but Booker DeWitt was there. And after basically doing his job as, I think, a soldier there, he felt really bad, understandably, and went to a religious thing to get baptized, to be reborn. And, well, he didn't go through with it. He was kind of afraid of the well, no, he didn't believe in it. So he was just very down. Apparently at some point he got himself a kid, got mixed up in dirty work and got himself some huge debts. Just crippling debts that meant serious trouble. So far the story makes sense. So, soldier goes to fight at Wounded Knee, feels really bad about it, thinks about going the religious route, doesn't go through with it, and instead gets a kid and bad work and horrible debts. Alright, that part makes sense. Then at some point, I don't know if he... Then the fancy guy, one of the guys that continuously teleport in and out of existence, I think working for Comstock, says, well, he wants the kid, wants his kid, and then he will wipe away all the debt. And that's apparently Comstock's idea. Comstock wants that. Alright, so that part also makes kind of sense. That part I can also understand. Comstock, well, apparently can't get a kid, so he wants his kid, which might be his own kid actually, but I'll get to that later. He wants DeWitt's kid, and for that he will wipe away all of his debts. And, well, DeWitt changes his mind, because first he thinks, what other choice do I have? But then he thinks, no, that's my kid, and wants him back. But they are stepping through either a dimension or some kind of portal kind of thingy. But DeWitt doesn't want that, so he tries to stop them. And they close the portal, and when it closes, well, the pinky finger of his daughter gets quite literally cut off. And then, in memory of her, of Anna, he brands a D on his hand. Anna DeWitt. And years later, the teleporting man and woman, yeah, I forgot their name, so I'm just going to call them the teleporting twins. They give him a chance to, well, be with his daughter again by putting him through a, whatever they were called, a rift or a tear. There were tears. That was what they were called. So they take him through a tear, but it has a massive impact on him. So he loses part of his memory and kind of starts making his own new reality in his mind, where Anna is his wife that he lost instead of his kid, and where he is there for the give us the girl and we'll wipe away the debt. That is the reason he's here. And well, it kind of is. I mean, he is there because of that deal, but not to execute on that deal, but well, to kind of, yeah, for the results of that deal. And then all the events happen, but the ending, that's the part that I can't put together. Because the story of Comstock is also pretty sad. Comstock makes, well, kind of, yeah, he makes or helps build this city in the clouds. Well, yeah, that's the thing. That story just doesn't kind of doesn't work, because he then, Comstock prophesizes the thing that is going to happen. He prophesizes his daughter is going to be. This is the part where it all breaks down, because at the same time I'm trying to not think of Booker DeWitt and the Prophet and Comstock as the same person. The problem with that is that it doesn't work. Then he has to have magical powers and all that kind of stuff. But I don't see where DeWitt and Comstock become the same person. Are they the same person, but from another plane, another rift, whatever? That's the part where it all breaks down for me. Because I don't know where one becomes the other, or how one is the other. I mean, could that mean that maybe Comstock, I mean, if Comstock actually is DeWitt, then that also makes sense with how he is a hero of Wounded Knee. Because, well, Booker is kind of a hero of Wounded Knee, although you could very easily argue that there are no heroes in that. I mean, really, there are no... Who's a hero in war? Because a hero in war is somebody who murders a lot of people, and you can... Well, is that really a hero? But that's a completely different debate. But there are just so many moments when I don't see that connection. I don't see the connection. I mean, some parts of it make sense, but... I mean, then Comstock wants to keep Anna safe from DeWitt as he is going to sell her. I mean, okay, that makes sense, but then it turns into a self-fulfilling prophecy. He tries to stop him from giving his daughter away by taking his daughter away. Okay, so that doesn't kind of make sense. And then the other thing is, how does Elizabeth get all her powers? I mean, all the signs of the other stuff, okay, fine, that's kind of science fiction-y, but Elizabeth, she just used to be just his daughter, so how did she suddenly become all magic and shit? I mean, what I kind of thought was, and this is something that I never said during the Let's Play because, well, it would kind of break immersion and stuff like that. So I thought maybe she is actually one of those little girls from the earlier games. And I know I didn't play the earlier games, but I know they're kind of a thing. And how they collect whatever it was called, but how they collect vigor or whatever it was. I don't know exactly what those two games were about, but maybe she was one of those, but no, she is not. She is just a normal person, so how is she suddenly all magic and shit? And the ending, well, right now, I made sense of it until the very end. I mean, suddenly there were a lot of Elizabeths. Okay, but there were not a lot of bookers. Where were all their bookers? I mean, it wasn't that they were just... I mean, they all disappeared when they drowned Booker. So it's not like they came there and then drowned their Booker and then joined the group to drown the next. And I also don't really understand why that moment. I mean, what they clearly... I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. Why kill Booker at that point? I mean, it's not like they didn't understand what he wanted. He wanted him not to give away Anna. Killing Comstock was just a means to an end. It wasn't the goal, so... If they were the same person, then why kill the wit if that doesn't change? I mean, yeah, it means that that Elizabeth is never being given up, but it also means that Anna is never born, and so I'm completely baffled. There's one positive about this though. I did a Let's Play. The thing about a Let's Play is, you need to put those videos together. Right now, I need to I record all my voice with Audacity. But that's not how I record in the, just the video. So I need to put those two together and then listen and watch the entire thing to see if there are no problems with it. That means that I can see it all a second time, and maybe then I can make some sense about it. And, well, after that, after I've went through that and then probably still don't understand it, because this thing is bloody complicated and makes no fucking sense. At least not to my simple mind, and I know, I mean, I always say my simple mind. Okay, so this might sound very egotistical. I'm actually smart. This is something that I'm very bad at saying that, hey, I'm good at something. That's something I'm very bad at. So, no, I'm actually pretty smart, but I cannot wrap my head around this at all. So, maybe once I put all those videos together and then saw it all a second time, and it still doesn't make any sense, because it won't, I can tell you that right now, then maybe I can... Then I can maybe look up some videos about it of people explaining it. And maybe then I have an idea of what's going on. And when I've done all of that, maybe I can even do the downloadable content and get all confused again, probably. So yeah, that will be fun. This has been Vanix, saying farewell. I don't get it. And then I didn't even touch upon the ideas that I had of how on earth do the teleporting twins, how do they teleport, how is that a thing? And the mother makes basically no sense. And then there's also my idea that this is entirely a spiritual thing, which would explain all the magic and the physical things that don't seem to really fit in the world that Booker knows, and I'm just really confused.